Hello student, today we will revise our chapter motion with the help of concept map. Student, motion, as we all know, when a moving body change its position with respect to time, the object will be considered as in motion. Change in motion can be taken with respect to the object which is at rest. The object with reference the other object considered to be motion or not motion is called reference point. Okay, so motion is a comparable thing. Okay, there are two kinds of motion. First, when an object travel equal distance in equal time of interval, it will considered as moving with a uniform motion. And when object travel unequal distance in equal time of interval, it will considered as non-uniform motion. Okay. Now student, again when an object travel or when an object is in motion, it covers some distance, or we can say it covers some displacement. Now what is distance? Distance is the actual length of path traveled by the body. Let us suppose an object started its journey from A, then reaches to B, and then went to C. Now if someone asks what is the length of path a body has covered, so we can write length of path is actually equals to AB, initially traveled by the object, and that means plus BC, after travel object. So we can say length of path is AB plus BC, or we can say this is the total path covered by the object. This length of path is actually known as distance. Okay. Now displacement. What is displacement? Displacement is the shortest distance. Okay. Now how can we say that displacement is the shortest distance? Let us again take the same example. A point A, object started its journey from A, reaches to B, and then went to C. Now the length of path is actually same, AB plus BC, but this time we consider from the place when object has started its journey will be considered as initial point, and the point where it has finished its journey will be considered as final point. Now if we join direct from initial to final point, this is an imaginary line by which we are joining initially and final point. It will always be a straight line. This line will be straight and shortest as compared to the actual length of path. So as we are calling, the shortest length will be considered as displacement. Now if you understand the concept, you will get to know that as we are joining initial and final point by the direct line or a straight line, this straight line will always be in the specific direction. That means we can say displacement always have a fixed direction. So now from this point we can conclude distance is a scalar quantity. Scalar means a physical quantity which do not have direction, or we can say distance only has magnitude, just like AB plus BC, but displacement can be said as vector quantity. Why can it be said as a vector quantity? Because displacement has two values, magnitude and direction. Now student, after completing the main defining the topic motion, we will learn speed. Now we all know what is speed actually is. When an object travels, it covers some distance with respect to time, and if we take the ratio of the distance travelled by the object with respect to time, this fraction will be called speed. How do we define speed? Distance travelled per unit of time. So in short, we can write the definition. Now if we are converting it into the formula, we can write s is equals to, s can be represent as the speed of an object. Speed is equals to distance travelled per unit of time, and distance travel per unit of time, so it can be divided it with time. Now distance can be measured in terms of meter and time can be measured in terms of second, so the SI unit of this speed will be meter per second. Student, speed is a scalar quantity. Why it is scalar? Because it is measuring distance. Distance is itself a scalar quantity. Just now we have learned. If it is a scalar quantity, that means speed will have only magnitude. It has no direction. Now speed can be classified into different category. Likewise, uniform speed. What do you mean by uniform speed? When object travel equal distance in equal time of interval. Okay. Now other type of speed can be read as non-uniform speed, as when object travel unequal distance in equal time of interval, it will considered as non-uniform speed. Now when object covers in non-uniform speed, it will develop average speed. Average speed means, suppose an object changing its speed with respect to time. Initially it is moving with first step speed, then to other. So we can find its average speed. How can we define? The total distance travels, likewise x1 distance, then after x2 distance travel, then x3, and the time travel by the x1 distance is t1. So total distance by total time. So we can find the average speed of an object. Now student, after covering speed, let us define velocity. What is velocity? Actually, velocity is the speed of an object which has direction also. Okay, so in physics we also use the word velocity. We will never use word speed. Why? Because we are talking of the uniform motion, okay, or uniform acceleration in which direction take place, or direction plays a very important role. What is velocity? Displacement produced per unit of time. As speed deals with the distance, velocity deals with the displacement. So we can define velocity is equals to displacement by time. Now displacement is a vector, as we all know. So we can define velocity itself is a vector quantity. Okay, velocity is a vector quantity. Its unit is as same, meter per second, as the speed of as the unit of speed. Now as velocity is a vector quantity, we can understand that it will have magnitude and direction both. The direction of velocity is same as the direction of displacement. This is important point, student. Okay, the direction of velocity will always be the same as direction of displacement. Now velocity, we can change the velocity of an object by changing its either speed or direction. Why? Because we are saying that velocity will have two terms, magnitude and direction. Now if we change the magnitude, velocity will change. If we change the direction, velocity will change. Correct? Now I am writing it again. Velocity has two values, magnitude and direction. So how do we change the velocity? If we change in magnitude, that means value of speed or value of velocity, 20 meter per second or 30 meter per second, so we can say velocity is keep on changing. Now if we don't change the magnitude, keeping the magnitude constant, but we will change the direction, turn. Okay, so in that case also velocity will get changed. Now velocity will of two types, uniform velocity and non-uniform velocity. Uniform velocity will be as same, equal distance travel in equal time, and non-uniform speed will be unequal distance travel in a equal interval of time. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Now next topic will be acceleration. It is very important term, student. Now we will talk about what is acceleration. Acceleration rate of change of velocity. If an object moving with a non-uniform motion, that means it will change the velocity or speed. So rate of change of velocity, as the velocity of an object will change, it will develop the acceleration. So we can define acceleration is equal to change of velocity by with respect to time. Correct? Now we will develop the unit of acceleration. So we know that unit of velocity can be written as meter per second. Correct? So at the place of v, can I write meter per second divided by time, and unit of time is second as well. So it will convert into meter per second square. So unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Now acceleration can be positive or negative. That means, what do you mean by positive acceleration? As we are saying, the acceleration is changing of velocity, so we can consider if velocity increases. Okay, so we can say acceleration is positive, and when velocity is decreasing, that we can say the acceleration is negative. Negative acceleration is also known as retardation. Okay, so when object decrease its velocity, it will considered as retardation. Now we'll learn uniform acceleration. The same formula is this: when an object travel in a straight line, its velocity changes at uniform rate. Means rate of change of velocity will be uniform. Okay, that means if an object increase its speed by 10 meter per second, so we can say it has a uniform acceleration. Okay, now non-uniform acceleration, when object increases its velocity in unequal amount of time. Okay, yeah, randomly if it will increase its velocity, sometime it will increase by 10 meter per second, sometime it will decrease by 5 meter per second. So randomly if it is going, so we can say the velocity is or acceleration is non-uniform acceleration. Okay, the uniform acceleration is very important, student, because on the basis of uniform acceleration, three equations of motions are derived. In our day-to-day life, we are moving with a non-uniform acceleration. Okay, non-uniform acceleration is very harder to solve or find it out. But uniform acceleration can be found as final velocity minus initial velocity by time taken, as object is changing its velocity with uniform rate, so we can find its initial and final velocity, and this is the v minus u can also be read as a. So we will develop the acceleration formula again. Now student, in a previous video we have solved 9th numerical. Now we are solving 10th one. A ball is thrown up with a velocity of 20 meter per second. The time for which it will be in space we have to find out. So the ball will move like A to B. Okay, we have to find out the time at which the ball will be in space. Okay, A and B are the point on the ground, and we will measure the time. Now student, when we throw a ball, the initial velocity is given to us 20 meter per second. Now student, as the ball will go up, at the top of the point its velocity decreases and become 0. Why it decreases? Because the gravitational force acts opposite to it, that decrease the velocity of a ball. At the topmost point the velocity will become 0. We can say it's when the ball going up, the negative acceleration work on it. Okay, the motion of a ball and the gravitational acceleration are opposite in direction. As a result, its velocity decreases. Now after reaching at the top, the direction of ball and acceleration due to gravity will have in the same direction. So velocity increases and gains the value of v1. This v1 value we are not knowing. Okay, I am putting question mark over here. Now we can find at what time the ball reaches to the top position, or at v is equals to 0. Okay, highest position. So first part will solve. Initially we are knowing the velocity of a ball is 20 meter per second. Acceleration developed is negative of acceleration due to gravity, so we are writing minus of g, and final velocity is 0, okay, at the top of flight. So we can use first equation of motion. Why? Because we are having initial velocity, final velocity and acceleration. Okay, the equation will have all three variables. Placing the value 0 as v, now then 20 minus of g into time. Now student, value of g, as we all know, gravitational acceleration will have 9.8 meter per second square. Approximately we can write, I am writing over this, g is equals to 9.8, or we can say 10 meter per second square. Okay, we are placing the same value in the equation. Now if we solve, we will get t is equals to 2 or 2 seconds. So what we can say? We can say a ball takes 2 seconds to reach the maximum height. Okay, or half of the flight he has covered in 2 seconds. The same time it will take to reach the ground or reach back to the ground. Okay, so half of the time has 2 seconds. So what will become the full time? The ball will become ball will be in the space. So what we can do? We can add up these two times. Okay, so we can write total time the ball will be in space is equal to 2 plus 2, that is 4 seconds. Okay, so now student, this is enough for today. We will solve other numericals in our next video. Thank you.